Herman Schrader on the Dirty Mo Media platform. I'm in St. Louis. Kenny Schrader is in Florida. And we start right now. Kenny Schrader, do I hear race cars in the background?
Yeah, I've been trying to turn that noise off, but they're going to start hot lapping here regardless. So I'm sorry, but we're going to have a little noise. I turned the air conditioner off. Can you tell? Does it feel hotter?
Oh my gosh, yes, I'm so hot. Is it still 85 degrees down there?
I don't think it was 85 today, but it was in the high 70s. It was perfect.
Hey, you know what this reminds me of? Remember when MRO, Motor Racing Outreach, would hold church and the race car would start up? And what would you tell them? I remember. Do you remember?
I don't remember what I told them.
You would say you're holding church in a racing garage.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what was weird about that, but the kids would all go to what they call it. Wasn't like Sunday school, but they called whatever they called it. And them cars just rah, rah, and there'd be a yellow flag. And I remember Dorothy and Sheldon telling me there'd be a yellow flag, and it's like, oh man, somebody's going to have to leave. You know, somebody, daddy wrecked or blew up or something. So one of us kids is going to have to leave and go home.
Oh, you know what? That's kind of sad. That really,
especially if it was you that blew up or had a flat, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I was getting ready to laugh, but that's no laughing matter.
Yeah. Those kids didn't think it was. Someone had to leave.
Yeah, darn it. Wow, that's something
Ron
else.
and Jackie Pegram, man, they did a great job.
Are they both still around, Ron and Jackie?
Yeah.
That ran?
Yeah. They were, there were a lot of people involved in MRO, but they were the face that we always saw.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
Yeah. Motor Racing Outreach. All right, everybody, listen, you're going to hear race cars in the background. That's because we are a racing show. Kenny Schrader's at Volusia. Kenny, let's get going right now. And I love that noise. I love that ambiance in the background. All right. We talked a Monday a week ago. Here we are again. I came home. You didn't. What have you been up to since then?
Well, Monday and Tuesday, promoters workshops, track operators from all over the country meet and exchange ideas and just talk about their season and see if we can help one another. And then still a lot more racing down here. Not ready to give up on it yet.
Yeah, I want to say something that made me really happy. As we all know by now, you and Ray Mahler sold your racetrack to Josh Carroll. In the golf cart all week long, I saw Josh Carroll with your partner and one of your best friends in life, Ray Mahler and the new owner riding around. It looks like it's going to be a really good team effort. What's your thoughts?
Well, Josh's family owned Godfrey, years ago. Josh has been around racing his whole life. Josh has run Brownstown, Illinois, last 2 or 3 years. Done a great job over there. We're excited about it. We think Josh is definitely the right person to be taking over the reins. We've worn Rayburn out. Rayburn's in great shape. He looks good. He had a lot of fun. He was at the races every night. But he's 86, he doesn't need to be climbing up on graders and stuff anymore. But we're excited about trying to help Josh. We're excited about Josh is coming in with a lot more energy, and he's got big plans for the facility.
Yeah, we'll put this to bed, but I had to say to Josh, I said, now, did you give Ray his gold card and a new golf cart?
Yeah.
Because I know, do you expect your partner, do you expect Ray, even though he doesn't own the track anymore, do you expect you and Ray to still check the racetrack out?
Oh, we're going to go over there and bug with Josh as much as possible. No, we'll, like I say, we're big fans of Josh going in there, and we'll help in any way possible.
Yeah. Okay, and what have I been up to? Well, I've been doing just what Kenny Schrader has been doing. We have raced 9 out of 10 nights out at Volusia, and I've been excited. Everybody likes my new Sunoco colors. The car looked good. We had a really good weekend. We didn't win, but we're not going to cry over that. So we were competitive, and it was a really good week for the Sunoco car. I want to thank Nick Hoffman, his dad Daryl, for building the motor. Mama Rhonda, they were wonderful to me. So thank you to Nick Hoffman and everybody there. Kenny, before we get the show rolling, and my Lord, do we got some of the biggest news in NASCAR. But before we get going, can you believe that they have made some merchandise about us? Dirty Mo Media is launching a new e-commerce merch line. So we got Herm Schrader T-shirts and things like that. Visit dirtymomedia.com to check out all the new stuff. So that's exciting. Hey, biggest news right now, and we're going to get talking about NASCAR right now. Listen to this. Steve Phelps, the president of NASCAR. Now, this is breaking news early this week. Steve Phelps said that NASCAR is privately owned by the France family since 1948. They could sell an equity stake of the company for the first time in its history in the coming years, and that he thinks the sport needs to pick up the pace on global expansion. That's big news. What do you think, Kenny?
Obviously, the roots of NASCAR is all, in the United States, basically, although they ran out of the country years ago. I think they went to Mexico or something once. But, they've been playing with it, going back to Mexico this year. Who knows? I don't, I really, no comment on that because I'm not involved. But I can see neat parts about that. That's just not our sport, though. But it could be the future of our sport. But
Yeah.
we're gonna alienate a lot of people in this country when they start shipping those cars overseas.
Yeah. Well, I think the most important thing, Kenny, is at the very end what Steve Phelps says. He says he thinks the sport needs to pick up the pace on global expansion. Now, might I remind me and you, or yourself and myself, somebody would teach me about my verbiage. But Formula One. When you look at Formula One, a media company owns Formula One. I'm gonna say this because, and then you can, if you don't mind, I'd like to hear what you have to say. This is my opinion. I think we are reaching the time that NASCAR is, I know it, is soon gone. Now, I don't mean that in negative ways. I'm just saying, Cale Yarborough, David Pearson, the Southern 500. I know all that's still going to be around. But reading this says they're going to need somebody to help them. They need an equity stake from a company because they want to go global. I think NASCAR, as we know it, in my opinion, is getting ready to be gone. And I don't think the president of NASCAR says something like this. These are big boy words. And I think he's training all of us. Hey, here's what's getting ready to happen. I mean, there's no way Steve Phelps is going to say that unless it's already getting ready to happen. Do you think it's getting ready to happen?
I think that it's been a very successful family business that's going into its fourth generation. It's time to cash out.
Okay, now I like that.
That's simple.
And I got to be honest with you,
Could
everybody.
Potentially be time to start the process.
Yeah. And I love you saying that because that kind of gives me the leadway. I have heard these things from, very good friends that have sat on the board at NASCAR before that, I don't want to get deep and put myself in trouble, but I like what you say. And yeah, okay. So that's breaking news in the garage here, everybody. NASCAR looking at selling an equity so they can go global. And I've already said what I need to say, and I agree with Kenny Schrader. It's time to cash out.
Yeah, and when I say that, there's nothing saying that we're gonna alienate some people, but there's a bunch of us, and I don't care. I can see a good side of it too. but there's a whole bunch of us that, a bunch of people that is going to alienate, and they're going to die pretty soon anyway.
I agree.
That happens in our sport. So, yeah. I mean, taking it global, hell, I mean, it's big, but it's just big in this country. So, that's not necessarily a bad deal.
Yeah. Okay, well, as Larry McReynolds will say, we can beat that like a dead horse if we want. And I think that's an ongoing conversation. I don't think we can just say it all and be done. So, we are going to hear some more news about this in the future.
We can be done now.
Yeah, we're done.
Yeah, okay. We're done now. Okay. All right.
Okay. Steve Phelps making news. He comes out with something strong. And Kenny, we got to talk about this. And I don't think we'll get in trouble.
We never get in trouble. The only time you used to really get in trouble is when you were involved. They were your main source of income because you were a driver, and you would run your mouth just saying stuff that you didn't need to be saying. It wasn't good for the sport. It was your opinion, but sometimes your opinion, what you think ought to happen, isn't good for the overall health of the sport.
And Denny Hamlin with actions detrimental, obviously they got no problem with him doing it. Joe Gibbs lets him do it, and he has been fined already. But I gotta say, it is entertaining, and that's Denny's deal.
Well, he's lucky; he's already made his money.
Yeah,
wouldn't want to be starting out.
No. Okay, so let's now. All of this is from Adam Stern. Adam Stern is a really good quality media guy, and he's the one. I feel like they all call Adam Stern and they say, "Hey, Adam," because he's not in TV, but he's a really good quality media guy. And here's the second thing that Adam Stern reports per Steve Phelps. Steve Phelps, president of NASCAR, says there's legitimate reason for optimism over NASCAR adding a fourth and even fifth official car maker. And Steve Phelps says, I know that's an answer I've given repeatedly over the last 5 years, but they're facts. There's no BS in this comment I just made. So, Kenny, looks like there's a fourth automaker coming soon, quite possibly a fifth. And he said it's no BS. And you don't hear Steve Phelps use the word BS. So he must be, finishing up something with an automaker.
That would be another reason. Let's say it was too foreign to us manufacturers. Yeah. That'd be another reason to be more global.
Oh, boy. We tying it together here on Herm Schrader.
Well, no, we're just talking. We're not tying anything together.
But you're making sense because they just come out and
that's my job in the show, Kenny, is to make sense.
True. And but boy, I'll tell you what, doesn't that make sense? On the same day, Steve Phelps, we want somebody to buy part of NASCAR because we want to go global, and then announces at the same time. So it makes sense that it would be a global automaker.
Did he say they wanted somebody to buy an equity stake, or did they say they would entertain it?
Let's do it again, everybody. Steve Phelps, the president of NASCAR, says that NASCAR, privately owned by the France family since 1948, could sell an equity stake of the company for the first time in its history in the coming years, and that he thinks the sport needs to pick up the pace on global expansion. So the president is saying we need to go global.
Hey, this is nothing about this is bad, other than people are going to aggravate, but nothing about this is bad.
Yeah. Well, to me, this is big news, and here's why. Because when we go back in time, remember when everybody used to say Brian France is going to sell NASCAR and start an NFL football team? These rumors have been going on for years, but after all these years, Kenny, it's finally the president is now saying it.
Boy, what if charters became franchises? That'd be a good time to own one. But never mind. That's not us. So just throwing it out.
I mean, this is big. So, all right, everybody. I think this is something we're going to have to pay attention to. But Steve Phelps, the president of NASCAR, has laid it out there, and everybody's going to be giving their opinion. But here I am. Kenny's already given his opinion. I just feel like NASCAR, is the way we know it, is soon going to come to an end. It's going to go global, and it's going to be a little bit like Formula One. I don't think we're going to lose our tracks. I think you're still going to have Darlington.
Think they're going to add more weekends to the year?
Oh my gosh!
Not to our schedule, just to the year.
Man, oh man, how could you do? There's 52 weeks in a year, and we're already 39. Wow, that would be insane. You would only have Christmas and Thanksgiving off pretty much if you took November and December off.
Well,
who knows?
You can have you can race Thanksgiving. That's only in the States. You can be overseas then.
Hey, let me ask you a question. You race every Thanksgiving. Does it bother you when you don't race on Thanksgiving? Because you've always raced on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, we always have, but it used to be Thanksgiving night, and now it's just the weekend. Because even Turkey Night out in California anymore, it wasn't on Thanksgiving night; it was on Thanksgiving weekend. But yeah, it's a holiday. There should be a race.
Okay, moving forward, everyone. We finally are where we need to be. So tonight, they're going to qualify for the Daytona 500. And Kenny, here's the latest, greatest, up-to-date, by the minute, by the day information. So the Daytona 500 entry list with the 9 open cars, and that's what I want to talk to you about. The 9 open cars are going to be Randy LaJoy, Justin Allgaier, Corey, thank you. What did I say? Oh, I said Randy. Justin Allgaier, and that's the big one. Justin Allgaier in Dale Earnhardt Jr., Kelly Earnhardt's car. J.J. Yaley, Martin Truex, one of our champions, Anthony Alfredo, Chandler Smith, B.J. McLeod, 7-time champion Jimmy Johnson, and of course, Elio Castro Neves. And in Bob Pockrass's report right here, here's what he writes. If Castro Neves does not get one of those 4 open spots, he would get in and there would be a 41 starters. So I'm just going to say this to you. What stands out? What are you thinking? So 36 plus 9.
Correct me if I'm wrong here. Still the two fastest qualifiers that don't make it in?
100% right.
Okay, so the 2 fastest of those 9, they're in.
They're in. Now we're at 38.
Okay. Now, it's not like when there was 65, but still, we're talking a couple from those qualifier races.
Yeah.
One, is it one from each qualifying race?
Yeah.
That's 39 and 40.
Yeah.
And then there's the hero driver.
Yeah. Basically only
Helio.
Yeah, basically only 4 cars going home. I almost think now that we're putting the math to it, I almost think we're making a little too much out of it.
Well, not really.
Yeah.
Not if you're one of them 9.
Boy, no kidding.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I'm going to say, Kenny. I'm going to go out on that big limb. I'm going to say Justin Allgaier and Martin Truex, they get in on a speed, because I'm thinking your old boss and your friend. I'm thinking Rick Hendrick is going to make sure that Justin Allgaier, all hands on deck. Do you think that will happen? Do you think? Rick Hendrick?
I don't see Dale and Kelly unloading something that's not top notch.
Yeah.
and it's not top notch because what I mean by that is everybody's going to unload really good stuff. There's just more access to knowledge over there than some of the other teams.
Yeah. Okay, so I gave my thoughts. I said Justin Allgaier and Martin Truex get in on speed. What do you think? You got Jimmy Johnson, you got LL Castroneves. Who do you think can outrun in qualifying for?
We're putting Helio in.
Oh yeah, right. All right. What am I
Helio's
thinking?
in.
Right.
Yeah. And it is 100%. It's, can we say crapshoot, whatever? But it's 100%. You don't know what's going to happen in the 150s.
Yeah,
You're
Jimmy
talking
Johnson.
about you're talking about a flat. You're talking about anything. You're talking about I mean, how many times have we wrecked our butts off in the 150s?
Yeah.
Not that they have to do that anymore. You used to have to really be aggressive, but you don't know. You want to be with the best teams you possibly can be for qualifying tonight.
Okay, so let's whittle it down a little bit more. Let's just say, for sake of the show and entertainment, let's say you and I have Justin Allgaier, Martin Truex, and Elio locked in. Okay, so to race their way in, you're going to have Jimmy Johnson, Corey LaJoie. That Chandler Smith is no joke. That kid, he's wormy. Um, you're right. We're going to want to watch these twins, aren't we?
It's going to be big. It's going to
Yeah.
be big.
Yeah, that's exciting, everybody. So, all right, tonight is the twin 125s, and they don't have the gas up anymore, do they, Kenny? I mean, they
Well,
go the whole.
it's twin 150s now.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it is the start of our NASCAR year, and I have a lot of excitement. I got to be honest, though. I'm just talking right now. I'm not superficial right now. I'm a little sad to hear. I mean, I know I got to be a big boy. I'm just a little sad to hear that NASCAR's looking at selling parts. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me and you in Daytona. Well, it reminds me of Anheuser-Busch, owned by Anheuser-Busch. And then we sell out. Um, it don't bother you, does it?
No, no. Formula One was here way before NASCAR ever thought of it.
Yeah.
And like you say, they're owned by a media company.
Yeah.
It sure hasn't got any smaller.
Yeah.
But I mean, it just happens. You talk about Cale Yarborough and David Pearson and them guys, and the King. NASCAR. Well, that's when you and I remember it. There was guys way before them guys. Those guys were the kids coming in, in the late 50s. It had already been there for 10 years. It just happens.
Yeah. I really feel like this is going to be trouble for NASCAR. I think they're going to need some Kenny Schrader therapy. I really do. I go on that Kyle Petty charity ride, and them fans are like, "Man, I love Richard and Kyle, but I just got a problem with the way NASCAR's moving. I'm wishing them the best, and I'm going to cheer them on."
But it's everybody you talk to like that is 50
no.
or everyone that talks to you like that is 50 or above. It's not the kids. It's not the late 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds that are saying that.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I really do. And in a joking way, I do mean this with compassion. All of our people are about ready to die. our group is getting older, so we do need to work.
You got a tape measure there?
Yeah. Oh God. Oh my God.
No.
Can he just say that story once? Come on, it's good.
All you do, okay, you get the tape measure out. Get it out. Right. Pull it out. You ask somebody how long they're going to live. And they're going to tell you 82. You pull that baby out to 82 and you open it up and you lock it there and then you ask them how old they are. And it's 70. So I got to get my hands there. So then you put your thumb, or what little part of thumb, you put it at 70 and you hold the other 82 there. And then you look way, way over there and you tell them that, dude, if you got anything you want to do, you probably ought to hurry up and do it because you've already ground up those 72 inches. You only got 10 left.
Yeah. Boy, that when you did that to me, it destroyed me for about a week. and everybody else. And that's why we usually do it when we're drinking beer, everybody. It really gets to it. Okay. So we are done with NASCAR. And you were right all along, Kenny. We're going to move on.
Hey, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Let's stop and think about this. Our sport changes pretty quick. Last week, we're not talking about this. It's just last week we talked about NASCAR Cup cars at Bowman Gray.
Yeah.
Now we're worried about going global. So anyway,
yeah,
that's a pretty.
Oh my God,
that's a pretty big change.
It's kind of like it was 75 degrees in St. Louis last week, and now it's the high of 20. That's the way NASCAR is right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is good. You don't know what's coming next.
Buckle up, everybody. Buckle up. NASCAR's getting ready to change in a big way, per Steve Phelps and Adam Stern.
Possibly.
Hey, I didn't say it. Me and you are responding to Steve Phelps, the president of NASCAR. Adam Stern, sportsbusinessjournal.com, and you know this is going to be the talk.
Adam. Okay, I thought you said Howard Stern.
Oh my God.
Never mind. Go ahead. Next subject.
Yeah, that is funny. Adam Stern, sportsbusinessjournal.com. Check it out, everybody. By the way, I saw Bob Pockrass. He came up to me in my pit area there at Volusia, and he just said that he was so nice. He goes, Herman, thank you for always, saying my name. And I said, Bob, you're the one that writes the stories. And then me and Schrader comment on them, so. But it is nice. We do like to give a shout out to the news, and then me and Kenny discuss it all. Okay. So it was Chase Elliott that won at Bowman Gray. And the next time he shows up on TV is the Super Bowl. You were right all along. You said the Chiefs would not go all the way.
No, I was just in bed with my wife. But I know I don't know anything about football. I know a little bit about teams.
Yeah.
And when they were these last minute Hail Marys, and last minute football bounces the right way and stuff. That's a little bit I know. That's not the background that builds the Super Bowl champion.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I fell asleep last night. But
well, you should have. It was 40-0 at one point, and then they scored.
Yeah, but it just they didn't win.
Yeah. Well, my favorite part of the year that I'll never forget, it was about the fifth week, and you and Ann were already talking about it. And the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, they were going to lose. They lost, but something had happened, a penalty, and it enabled the Chiefs to kick that last second field goal, and it hit the upright post. And so I said, Schrader's right. The Chiefs were living right. They weren't playing good. And but boy, what they barely won all the way to the Super Bowl.
So a little bit I know, Super Bowl wasn't that good, but the season was.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
that's right. And Clint Boyer, he was down there. He looked good. He had his Kansas City jacket on. It was a dress jacket, his hat, all the beads, and of course it was in New Orleans. They did a good job. There was no controversy. Thank God we didn't have any issues with security. It was really a clean Super Bowl. Did you watch halftime?
I saw parts of it. I don't know who that was.
Nobody could understand Kendrick Lamar. I think the audio people did a poor job, and I definitely missed the day Whitney Houston singing the national anthem and Prince was out there. I just wish they used the good songs.
That's because you're a grumpy old guy. That's you're a grumpy old guy, and it's not about people our age. So next topic.
Yeah, that's right, though. Yeah. Okay. we put the Super Bowl right in there, and Schrader was right all along. He said the Chiefs. Yeah, you knew what you were talking about. And all right, we did. They did. I mean, we had an enormous amount of dirt racing at pretty much 2 racetracks. I know New Smyrna's going on right now, but they started after dirt racing. So, Kenny, let's kind of start out like this. Let's just start out with our modifieds. Kurt Spalding is a good friend of yours. He's
a friend of everybody in the sport.
Yeah, he works at All Star. He works for a living. He sells parts. Kurt Spalding had the week of his life. Just talk about Kurt Spalding. He won it all, everybody. He won everything in the modifieds. He won most of the races and the Gator Championship.
Did he win? How many?
A lot of them.
Gators. Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just the car all week. He's got one of David Stremmy's cars. He's got a lethal chassis. I mean, he's won a lot of races here before, but not like that. I don't think anybody's had a week like that. I guess Nick did before, and maybe Strickler back whenever, but he was the guy. But they kept him honest Saturday. Now, he led, I don't know, lap 6, 7 on, but they kept him out. Hell, you rolled up the second there at one time, and then Krupp was on him, and I mean, it was the Neville. I mean, it was a good race. I mean, they kept him honest, but he got there first.
I can say this about Kurt Spalding. I got to second, probably ran 2 laps behind him, and he was he was just flying through the middle of the corner. Looked like he was on asphalt. He could just roll that middle so quick. And one thing that Kurt said all week that I remember, he said his son is building his shocks. And he said his boys said, "Dad, I got this. You're going to like these shocks." So Kurt did give a lot of credit to his son. And Kenny, just for everybody out there, if you don't mind, you know better than I, tell us a little bit about Kurt Spalding, where he works and what he's really popular for.
Well, he works at All Star Performance, which is Lane Automotive, All Star Performance, probably the biggest supplier in short track racing for parts. He just he's a racer. He's easy to talk to. He's got a lot of knowledge when you got questions. That whole company, I mean, very, very humble beginnings. And it's huge. It's like All Star, and then Speedway Motors in Nebraska, and they've grown so much, so big, and it just makes you happy when you call up there and order stuff. I know, or when if I order something from Jags, or if I call the local Federated store, but it's just, there's a lot of knowledge, and it's just all high performance stuff.
Yeah, and that's a fair statement. Let me just say this, Jags, we know our lane, and I know Federated Auto Parts does too. Jags sells high performance aftermarket car parts, and of course we know about Federated. What do you think, Federated, Kenny? What do you think their lane is? Automotive repair shops?
Oh, they're automotive repair shops, but all this racing and pollution, that noise we hear in the background, and every night last week, and the 3 nights the weekend before that, are all the Federated Auto Parts Dirt Car Nationals. So, and it's not like they are trying to sell these parts, because they don't carry the parts that the racers are using, the majority of them, but they're 100% behind the sport.
Yeah. And there's a lot of passenger cars out in that parking lot.
A lot of passenger cars.
Yeah. Okay, so that was the UMP Modified Division. Big shout out to Kurt Spalding. Like Kenny said, he's done something that hasn't been done since Nick Hoffman. Complete domination. And the closest one to him was Will Krupp in the 9. But all right, let's move on. It was the start of the World of Outlaw sprint car season. And Young Money, Kyle Larson.
Yeah.
I mean, him and Christopher Bell, they were the show the whole damn time.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing that Cup drivers can show up and jump right in those damn things and just, it is amazing to me.
Yeah. Well, they're not. They're fantastic drivers that just have their full-time job is running a Cup car. Yeah. Obviously, they're pretty damn good sprint car drivers. And the sprint car guys, which I know how good they are, really need to be damn happy that those guys got a real job and not messing with them all the time. But, is a fast, I mean, they're going to run good no matter where they go, but this is right up their alley, too. It's a place with a lot of speed and stuff. And, but still, to come in, 50 plus cars every night, and I think Christopher won one by 5 thousandths or
over race.
Yeah, over Kyle, and then Kyle won 2 nights. I mean, just great shows. Shows.
Let me touch this subject because I know it's been talked about before. My opinion does matter, damn it. I think it's awesome that Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell do this for the World of Outlaws. And I don't think anybody should be upset or mad that they come in. Because, Kenny, I think they make the World of Outlaws bigger, more popular, because all the NASCAR media was there because, Bob Pockras was there and he was promoting it. These Cup drivers are going down there. How do you feel about, that?
Well, for all these races, they have an entry form. If you want to go, you just go,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, anybody can show up,
Yeah. So there you have it, everybody. It was a magical, especially that first night when it was Christopher Bell, or as you all say, C. Bell, and Kyle Larson. And Kenny, that was a deal where at the checkered flag, Kyle Larson's right front was at Christopher Bell's left rear. And I mean, the crowd was on their feet. They were slicing and dicing those last 10 laps. And that Christopher boy, he's a smooth character, ain't it? Both of them. Okay, let's do this. Christopher Bell and Kyle Larson. Sometimes, I mean, I guess Kyle has got an advantage, but boy, that Christopher Bell, he really is good, isn't he?
Well, we hear about Kyle Larson, and we say he's got advantage, but it's, this year, I mean, Christopher was more limited on what he was allowed to run. And I think he's still a little more limited. I don't know what this deal is, but it's obviously opened up and he can run more, and he's excited about it. I saw him just for a little bit the day after that he won. And, he was happy at Tulsa Shootout holding up the $2,500 check. $2,500. Okay. And it was killing Kyle that he wasn't the one holding it up. So, I mean, it's nothing about money. It's these guys are excellent racers. They love racing, and they're getting to do it some more.
Yeah. And let's stay on not dirt right now, but let's talk about Christopher Bell. Christopher is now making ASA Stars starts. Like Christopher said, okay, I'm going to run New Smyrna during speed weeks. It seems like Christopher Bell, with the blessing of Joe Gibbs, you just mentioned it. Joe Gibbs says, okay, you can go race. It looks like he's like, okay, I'm going, boss. And now he's even running asphalt ASA Stars races.
Yeah. Coach letting him do. I don't know if Coach has ever come out and watched the World Outlaw Sprint Cars at Volusia.
Good thing he doesn't.
Yeah, good thing he doesn't. It's fine, Coach. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, okay. So this is all at Volusia. We talked about Kurt Spalding in the modifieds, Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell. Kyle Larson did win it all, won the Big Gator, and now it's time to go on over to Ocala. Ocala. JD, Jonathan Davenport, Superman. I just never known JD to really show up at Ocala, but Kenny, he wins too.
Well, it was a Lucas Oil race.
Yeah, good point. Well, okay, let me just say this. I'm not used to JD running real good. I call Ocala a tough track, but he won 2 in a row, and then Moran won on the big night. What do you got?
There's a reason. Was JD won 3 Lucas championships, or is it 4?
He's not getting slower, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. So I don't say that he has his type track. You know,
yeah.
The dirt ones where they turn left look to be like his type of track.
Yeah.
But that was, and I don't know all the results, but we also had center steer modifieds at Alltech. Screven had a big late mile race this week. We're not even going to be able to talk about all this in another couple of weeks because there's too many all over the country.
Yeah, and you bring up a good point, and he does bring up a good point. Everybody, we can only get it while we can, because soon it's going to be my pass is going to be lit up with hundreds of racetracks. But for right now, it is an exciting time. It is Daytona Speed Weeks. Kenny, just quickly, I get goosebumps. I guess I started going down in the 70s when Dad would go down, and Richard Petty and David Pearson coming to the line at Daytona. And then, down the road is New Smyrna.
Do you know what year that was?
What year was it?
It was 79. God,
what a race.
I think. But that wasn't in, okay, that was, last, when David won with the front end knocked off.
Daytona Speed Week is special, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's an emotional. I mean, I tried to stay away, a year ago? How'd that work out for me?
Not too good.
Not too good. It's a deal like even Steve Kinzer doesn't race anymore, but then, we see him down there. Is Steve still in the motorhome park by you?
Hey, Steve did not make it this year. He had a bunch of stuff going on at the house.
Yeah.
And he didn't make it down here this year, but we're not going to let that happen next year.
Good. We can make sure we send somebody after him. You helped me, and I want to thank you in front of everybody. I tried to stay away because it just got a little rough on me, but I figured out a way to, skin the cat, and thanks to Nick Hoffman. But, I just, okay, so what is your favorite? We got a little bit of time left in the show. What is what made you get emotional? Is it the Daytona 500, or is it all of Speed Weeks? New Smyrna, all the dirt racing. What one moment that you can remember that stands out?
It's just a race. There's just a whole bunch of them down here. A whole bunch of them down here when the first time we lugged the car down, Pat Walsh, good friend of mine, Bruce Hawkins, and myself drove the 59 Chevrolet school bus down here that you wrecked.
I did.
You wrecked it. You were how old?
Oh, God. 10, 12, maybe.
You wrecked it in over at your daddy's house.
I put it in neutral by accident.
Yeah. Then you knocked the emergency brake off, or I don't know if it had brake or whatever. But
all I know is it rolled backwards.
Did it hit a tree?
We got lucky because it backed into a big tree, or else it went way down into a creek.
Well, anyway, we brought that down with the car on it, and we ran New Smyrna, and we brought some dirt tires too. I don't know if we ever made it over here. Had a spare sharp block mounted on the tongue of the trailer. One motorcycle in the front bumper of the bus, and 2 inside the bus, and we were geared up. Won $100 a night.
Wow, that is awesome. All right, everybody, remember, tell us about why Daytona is special to you. We just told you why it is to us. We've been coming here since we've been kids. It is that time, Kenny. I mean, my gosh, we are already at an hour, and we're gonna tell some jokes, and let's do trending real quick. What is trending in America? Well, we can't say the first one because Dale Jr. will get mad at us. It's political. Yeah, it's political. So, sorry.
Is it? Give us a hint. Just don't say it, but just give us a hint. We'll try to figure it out.
The massive amount of money that they've been spending on the wrong things that make you go, what?
Yeah.
That's trending. Everybody is appalled. And if we start going there, it's going to get.
No, we can't go there.
Yeah, we can't go. So, Dale Jr., we hear you. By the way, everybody, Dale Jr. gave us specific rules, no politics. And we've been really lucky with trending. So, let's go to number 2. Trending. Google Maps has officially updated. It is now officially the Gulf of America. It is not.
And that's not political?
Let me go to number 3.
Forget you even heard that one. Maybe Junior won't. Junior won't hear it.
Okay, hold on. Let's go to trending number 3. We're trying, Junior. We're not talking about politics. Well, this is a good one. Charlie Marlowe will like this. Trending, Justin, arbitrators have ruled Mark Lohr and Alex Rodriguez, A-Rod, over Glenn Taylor as the next majority ownership group of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So, Kenny, you and Ann loved the New York Yankees. And in the days that you guys enjoyed loving the Yankees, Alex Rodriguez was the man. And now he is going to own part of the Minnesota Timberwolves. So that is trending really big. And that is breaking news.
All I know about the Yankees was when you say we loved them, we loved Gene Monahan, who was a trainer for them, still do, but that's all. He just worked for the Yankees, and that's all.
Yeah. By the way,
until you've had a 12-pack of Budweiser and Sterling Marlin and some Kodak disposable cameras running around the bases at 3 o'clock in the morning at Yankee Stadium, you haven't really experienced everything.
Okay.
But that's another story.
That is not another story. Do you have enough energy to tell me that story?
Well, no, we were at the banquet at the Waldorf, and Gene Monahan, he went to a lot of NASCAR races. A lot of us knew him. And we're in the Budweiser suite, and it's like, we were like, what are we going to do? And, it's like, it's late. We don't really need to be doing nothing.
New York City.
we could go to the stadiums. What do you mean? We get in. So we go to Yankee Stadium. It's 3 in the morning, and we've got beer and Kodak disposable cameras, and we're down in the locker room, and there's parts of it I don't even want to go into. Best not. But we're running around Yankee Stadium, the bases, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and
oh my gosh!
It was big.
That is big, and that's a story.
We can't go through everything because that statute of limitations thing, but it was big. It was a big night. Big.
What a story! And Gene Monahan, was he the trainer for the Yankees?
Yes, he was one of the trainers.
Yeah. Wow. I'm glad I talked you into that.
It was. Yeah.
That was big.
There's more to the story.
I love it. I know there's more to the story. Well, maybe one day you'll get braver and tell more. Okay, everybody, we have come to the end of the show, and it's joke time. And I'm going to make Kenny Schrader keep going.
I don't have jokes this week. No, you got the jokes.
No, yeah, hold on.
Oh, I got the one. It's
yeah,
not a joke.
I've got jokes, but what you said about Logan Schuchart is, I'm laughing right now.
Well, Federated does some races with Logan Schuchart, Shark Racing, Bobby Allen. Logan's great. Yeah, great guy, and they're built their team. It's just they're leaving here second points after the first week.
That's big.
Run a strong second to Kyle Saturday night, but Federated's got some customers that they're entertaining. So Logan and I are yesterday morning at a go-kart track, running with these people, having a lot of fun. And those little indoor go-karts, it's one of the K1 kart centers, they steer pretty hard. You go out there and run like 15 laps, your arms know it. And this one one guy who was pretty cool. He comes in afterwards and he said, "Man, my arms are tired." And his wife looks at him and says, "It's because that gut you got on you." And he says, "My gut's not tired. My arms are tired." So I'm going to remember that one. He said, my gut's fine.
We're going to break my body down. Here's my head. Yeah. Here's my shoulders.
My gut's fine.
That's a good one. All right. All right. Charlie Marlowe's got us some good jokes here, everybody. Let's see what we got. We are okay. Why couldn't Matthew McConaughey make it as a NASCAR driver? Because he always went, all right, all right, all right.
I thought it was because Lincolns didn't race.
That's a good one. Well, Matthew McConaughey, he's always going, all right, all right, all right. That's a good one. Okay. The jokes are getting better, everybody. Okay. Why did the electric car finish the race early? It had a short circuit. That's a good one. By the way, everybody, Dirty Mo Media is launching a new e-commerce merchandise line. They've got some awesome Herm Schrader merch on the site. You probably see Schrader's face, but remember to visit shop.dirtymomedia.com to check out all the new stuff. So that's exciting, Kenny. We matter. They getting some stuff on us. When are you coming home to St. Louis?
Well, we'll just have to see, but I'm going to stay down here for hopefully for the weekend.
Stay down a little bit longer.
Our next race is in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, Springfield, Missouri, baby.
Are you excited?
Yeah. It's the 28th and the 1st. So, if it's not like a foot of snow or something, it'll be great.
You inspire me. And I'm saying this serious to you. I'm sorry I'm serious. You love racing with all your life. I mean, if you're not at that's where that book came from.
I'm just trying to keep from getting a job, Kenny.
When that book came out of yours, it said, "Gotta race." By the way, I'm buying time for the cars to fire up again. So go with me. Here we go.
Firing up. Yeah. See, I'm just going to let go for a minute.
Yeah. That book.
Now this is just one window open in the old Four Winds Inception motorhome.
Yeah.
And I'm probably
your football fields
3 or 4 football fields from the track.
Yeah, you're at the go-kart track off turn 4. Yeah.
Sounds good, Don. All right.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, everybody. We are leaving you with some race car noise. You've heard it in the background. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you can't hear us very good, just turn this baby up. And
you didn't miss much.
Oh, it was a fun one. It was a good one. We had a lot of good stories right there. The Steve Phelps, the dirt racing, and all the NASCAR news. So we'll be coming to you after the Daytona 500 next time. Our biggest race in NASCAR is always at the start. Kenny Schrader, you got anything else to say before we say goodbye to everybody?
No, I'm just going to go run outside and watch some more races for a couple days.
And I know that you love me now because you challenged me.
Hey,
and we are, yep.
47 cars. I got to eat lunch with Mr. Drager today. 47 cars for the 40 car starting field for the ARCA race was Saturday. I don't know the truck numbers or the Xfinity numbers, but the 500 and the ARCA race, that's both.
Okay, let's end on this positive note. Kenny Schrader brings up a good point. I just read that the Xfinity series has too many cars too. So, as negative as a lot of you try to be, every series in NASCAR has too many race cars. And that, my friends, is like the old days. So, something's going on good in racing, and that's good to hear, Kenny.
We only had 107 modifieds. So.
Boy, and the positivity just
don't know
keeps
what we're
coming.
going to do.
Yeah. Oh, the sport's horrible. We just got too many race cars, everybody.
Yep.
And Kenny Schrader, I did it once again. We've been trying to keep the Herm Schrader show at 1 hour, and we just did that. Exactly 1 hour.
We don't want anybody to suffer any longer.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Until the next Herm Schrader show. Schrader's in Florida. He's coming home. I'm in St. Louis. We will talk to you after the Daytona 500. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye-bye.